podcast where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris, because it's Merris Monday.
Hello.
I mean, it's Sunday for us.
They don't know that.
They do now.
God.
I mean, nobody thinks we're sitting there live.
People don't know how podcasts are made.
That's true. I didn't know how they were made until I made one.
Well, it is not Monday for us time travelers.
No.
It is Sunday.
We're in the past
We
when
are in
you're
the
listening
past.
to this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah, so today was weird.
You did have, do we want to talk about how you think time is weird and stuff like that?
Time's been fucky, and I want to know if it's fucky for anyone else. Okay, this is so hard to explain. And this is a shorter episode anyway, so I have a moment. So I will explain to you the one time I think I time traveled. Everyone's going to think I'm an idiot.
There was like this mechanical bathtub you got into.
No, not at all.
Oh.
So, as you all know, I have epilepsy. And
Temporal lobe epilepsy.
Yes. To keep from, flopping around, I partake of the medical marijuanas. Because for me, it's pretty much a cure. If I have a little bit every day, it keeps the seizures away.
Yeah.
And that's how we like it. But sometimes I like to have fun because, I'm a human being. I don't really drink alcohol or anything. And sometimes I'm going to have an edible.
Right.
And y'all, if you remember, back in the 90s, if you're my age, which is old, the edibles really weren't shit back then. I mean, you could eat like a brownie. You'd be fine. Edibles today are not like that. You got to plan out a good 12-hour block in which you'll be in space. That's how I am anyway. Just when I sit there and think, this ain't shit, I am literally in another land. I can't talk and I have to lay down.
Right.
And so this happened to me. I took an edible and I laid down because I was done. I was like, well, this was too strong. And I'd only had half, so I'm a big weenie. And instead of falling asleep, I just had this weird thing happen. And I hesitate to call it a dream because I wasn't dreaming. I was awake.
You were Mad Mike Markham for a minute.
I was. And I didn't have to build a machine because I think time travel is possible without a machine. You can just project your consciousness.
It is way more cool if you have a machine, though, a mechanical bathtub.
I don't know what your deal is with bathtubs.
It's just the first time I've ever encountered time travel was from an episode of DuckTales. And then from now on, time machines in my mind, they're not DeLoreans, they're bathtubs.
I do remember that episode,
I'll
and
never
now I
forget.
feel 8,000 years old and wish I were dead. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So a little backstory on this. When I was a very small child, I developed an irrational fear of orange streetlights.
They are creepy. I mean, no one knows why, but they just are.
Ew,
I know in other countries they'll do blue ones and people behave better or something.
The orange ones just seem evil to me.
Yeah, they're creepy.
They're creepy, but they were the streetlights that were on the street where I grew up.
Incandescent? Is that what they are?
I don't know what they are, but they are electric orange. They're pukey orange color. They're not nice. So it's not like fun Halloween lights. They're just this meager orange light. They suck.
The orange you throw on throw up in grade school.
That's exactly the orange color they are.
Yeah.
Or the orange of the penicillin you were given as a kid.
I didn't get sick that much.
Oh, I did. Anyway. Yeah, I was scared of them. So back to my time traveling. I am very stoned, out of my mind possibly, and all of a sudden everything looks like water. And I was like, wow, I'm dying. I don't know. An edible is going to kill me. I'm going through a portal.
Yeah.
And then I found myself kind of standing. I wasn't standing and floating. I don't know. I was in this watery bubble, and I was floating in a cul-de-sac that had them orange streetlights, and I found myself looking at my childhood home.
It's messed up.
It was across the street. And then I looked, because my little window faced the street, and I saw the blinds open. It was little me looking at older me time traveling because it was too high.
It's just fucking Black Mirror or something.
And then remember when I came out of it and I was babbling like a crazy person?
You were really freaked out, like legitimately.
I was legitimately like crying. It scared me.
Yeah.
I was like, I done scared my own self.
I've never had an experience like that, but I believe you.
Yeah, so I think you can time travel in your brain. And ever since that happened, if I get extra zooted, I have a feeling that time is weird and it's really hard to explain. Like, I get a feeling of a time.
I
like
think
nostalgia,
it works more like
but
that.
stronger.
Because years are arbitrary. Like, we say 2023, but that doesn't fucking mean jack shit. Doesn't mean anything. It's completely arbitrary. So if you could time travel, if it is a thing, I agree with you that it's more like you capture the vibe of a time instead of like 1974. It's like more like you have to be in the moment of 1974, like in a concert or whatever it is that you were doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my theory of time travel. But what is today's episode anyway?
I'm not telling you yet. I'm still talking about time travel.
I don't even know.
I know you don't know. It's fun to make you not know.
Okay.
Yeah, well, when I say like a feeling of a time, like it's so specific. Like that one time I was at the pool when I was a kid getting those flavor ice pops. It just has that feeling, and there's no other way to explain it. Music will trigger it really hard. A smell can trigger it. The way the air feels. And ever since that day, maybe I'm just hyper aware of it because I had that weird experience, because I've never had it again. And I also believe you can't time travel unless you lived that time.
So you could only go within your lifetime. I couldn't, since I was born in 83, I can't time travel to 1920 something.
I don't think so. I think part of being able to do it is you go back through your own consciousness.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree that time travel is more of a vibe.
Time travel is a vibe.
Yeah.
And I didn't care for it. And anytime I get these really strong, nostalgia doesn't begin to cover it, but that's what I'm going to use because I lack the human words. I don't have a good feeling. It kind of makes my tummy hurt. And so, like,
do you think all epileptics or only certain kinds of epilepsy?
Temporal lobe epilepsy can come with more like auras and hallucinations. I am perfectly like fine accepting that my time traveling was a weird hallucination dream, but it just felt really real, and I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of superimposed over the bedroom. Like I was awake and I was aware. It was just very
I've
weird.
never had an experience like that, but I actually don't desire to time travel. No. I don't want to do it.
I just gave myself a weird fear of streetlights. That's literally all that happened. It's not like I went back in time and been like...
You can't go back in time and tell yourself
invest
something.
Invest in Microsoft.
Right. So, like, what's the point then?
Yeah, I can't... I mean, maybe I could... But I think it just fuck everything.
It might fuck everything up, and you may not...
No, I think that since we have like multiple realities, like infinite realities for every choice we make, I just think it would branch off another timeline, but I wouldn't get to experience it.
So you probably wind up having an epileptic thingy and die, is what you're saying. Yeah,
something like that, or just nothing changes. That too. Because I feel like I kind of feel like we're on predetermined paths.
Yeah, because the only thing I would ever do to mess up time is like give myself money, and you know that's probably the worst timeline ever. I probably like die in a car accident in that timeline or something.
Yeah, you get the money and you explode. And
yeah, not fair, not fair.
No, and I feel like you know what really pisses me off. I feel like I will get money one day, like 3 days before money ceases to be a thing.
That is just not. That is the millennial curse. It's just not. We're just a life not fair is what you get if you were born like in the late 1900s. Your life is screwed. I'm Gen X.
I don't give a fuck if things are fair or not. We just don't care about anything.
We get to say that though, that I was born in the late 1900s to sound like the oldest man in the world.
Well, that's your dream.
It is. I'm living the dream. Because in
addition to being trans, you're trans old.
Right. I was born a little girl, but I have an old man at heart.
You're an old man on the inside.
Yes.
Well, that's fucked up.
I was a little girl who grew up to be an old man.
You were an old man since you were a little girl.
That's right. That's right. I couldn't think of it. I was too stupid to think of the thing I always say.
It's okay. You can be an idiot.
Okay.
We've both been real big dumbies today.
What is
Well, the vibe was off, y'all. The vibe has been off all day, and I should have stayed home.
Yeah, well, nothing bad happened, so it's
No,
fine.
but it was we had a misadventure.
Yeah, my monitor is being stupid.
We woke up and Merris's computer monitor no longer works, and it's not the monitor,
it's
and
not
it's not the cable.
HDMI cable. I've tried 3 different
It's
ones.
the port on the laptop, and because it's a dedicated hard drive, that means a dedicated graphics card, which means on the motherboard, that's fucked.
Yep.
So we were going up to Walmart to see if they had an HDMI USB adapter. Oh, they didn't. And then Walmart's meat was so expensive. Like a pound of ground hamburger was $8. And I'm like, where am I? This is Walmart. It's supposed to be cheap. So I got pissed off and left. Now, a caveat to this is we sell our art in a little shop downtown. Mm-hmm. And about once or twice a month, the shop owner does like a thing where she has all the artists come in so like tourists can talk to the artists. And she serves these amazing little cakes, y'all. They're so good. They're in little squares and they taste like a really fancy ding dong.
Yum.
And man, I could go ham on them, but there's other people around. So you may have two. Because you're already chunky. You don't want to be the person just inhaling the cakes.
I mean, I have no shame. I'll do it.
I won't. So I just ate 2 little cakes, but I was like, I need to find out where these cakes are from because we looked all around town and couldn't find them. So I asked Janie, the shop owner, I was like, girl, where you get these cakes? And she was like, Walmart. And so I thought, oh, yes. The next time I go to Walmart, I shall get the... Nope, I was too mad and I forgot to get the fucking cakes.
Like, we're dumb.
So we go next door to the vapor shop because I need my nicotine. I'm going to stab somebody in the eyes. And their machines are down. Yeah. I try and check my ATM, like my balance at my bank so I can be depressed.
The ATM was down.
The ATM is down. So like we drove 30, 45 minutes all the way to Walmart because it's far from our house for no reason at all. We purchased nothing. Except a cheeseburger from McDonald's because their app gives away food.
So what is our episode today? Like the listeners
now I shall tell you.
Are like, what the hell is this even?
Don't worry. We're talking about Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison.
That had nothing to do with anything that we was talking about.
Nothing. Absolutely not. But this will be like half time travel, half...
I mean, unless we're right about the time travel and Nikola Tesla's like, yeah, epilepsy, you have extra electricity in your brain, so of course you can time travel. I don't know if that's an exact quote from Nikola Tesla.
Boy, it's not.
Oh.
You just straight pulled that out of your ass. I don't think he talked about time travel too much.
He should have, because he was really smart.
Yeah, he was also nuts, but we're getting into that. So it's a well-known fact that Tesla was ahead of his time. He was a genius inventor and a man of many ideas with an unusual love of pigeons. If you all haven't heard us talk about this before, Tesla had a pigeon named Rose, and he was in love with this pigeon. Not in a sex way. He was asexual. But he was deeply in love with this pigeon. He called her a sublime creature, and that's weird. They're cute, though. I do like pigeons.
I don't know what his deal was. I mean...
No. But even as a man of science, he was fascinated by the world of the supernatural and paranormal. He believed he didn't really believe in ghosts, but he believed he received messages from space. And given his other eccentricities, it's possible that he was nuts. Or was he? We're going to delve into the strange rivalry between Edison and Tesla and dive straight into the world of spirit communication using an instrument.
Do you think Tesla and Edison ever kissed?
No, they hated each other.
I mean, just kind of like the hate-love kissing.
No, they weren't like enemies to lovers, which is a popular book trend on TikTok.
We should write it. We should write this bromance.
I'm never writing this, and because I hate Edison, and we'll get into that in a minute.
I'll play him. I'll play Edison, and you can play Tesla.
You're making this beyond weird. You're
We've
making it
written
weirder
stuff.
than it. Yeah, I'm not writing that.
I'd write
it. Doesn't need to be written. Mm-hmm. This is how the world ends. God frowns upon the abomination we've wrought and kills us all, like zippity zap. And when we all go to hell, because we're going to hell, let's face it, I'll be like, why, God? And he'll be like, because you wrote that fucking Edison and Tesla fic, and it was gross, and I hated it, and fuck you. And I'd be like, fair, I deserve to be here. Anyway, we're talking about spirit communication using an instrument, not like the one you play, but like a device. And this is more commonly referred to as ITC in the ghost hunting world. ITC stands for Instrumental Transcommunication. And no, I'm not talking about talking to trans people.
Oh, like me.
Like
I was thinking like a glass harmonica or something.
No, nice try, woke snowflakes. Yeah. Basically, ITC involves the method of using electronic devices to capture EVP or electronic voice phenomenon. And if you're unfamiliar with that, I'm going to link a bunch of YouTube videos so you can scare yourself to death and never sleep again.
It's fun, even if you're like, I don't believe this.
It is super fun. I captured an EVP in the Tulsa house.
What'd it say?
It told me to go away and die. So
Rude.
I was like,
that's your house, first of all.
well, and it was just an experiment because I was doing it at like graveyards and stuff with a little digital tape recorder. Digital recorder, no tape. That's stupid. That's a stupid thing I said. And
Okay, we're dumb today.
I tested it out in my room first.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that doesn't help me sleep at all.
No.
And you know, skeptics, those wet blankets, will tell you that it's just audio pareidolia, which is where our brains try to make patterns out of stuff. No, this straight up said, "Go away,
Wow.
die," and I was like, "Wow,
Rude ass ghost.
yeah, not fun." Anyway, so what do Tesla and Edison have to do with all of that? Part of it has to do with the times. During the early parts of the 20th century, it was all the rage to try and contact the dead. You had psychics, mediums, spiritualists, dowsers, you name it. And all of them were all over the place, traveling from town to town. People were, of course, mostly scamming the bereaved, but there were some definite, legit cases. So why was it all the rage? The Spanish flu and war.
Okay, yeah.
It just killed the shit out of so many people, especially the young and the very old, that most families had at least one or two members that died from it. So it was a very scary time and caused the Victorians to become obsessed with death. Like, that's when the whole, like, well, it's not when it became very in vogue to like talk about death and like have paintings about death in your house, like Memento Mori.
Yeah, I think I got a Memento Mori ring. Like a
You
real
do,
one,
from the
yeah.
Victorian times.
It's really cool. I tried to like find more information on it, but I just
You
couldn't.
should send a picture of it. I'll attach it to this episode.
Okay.
Yeah, it is really neat. We found it at a flea market. I think you got it for like $8.
It was $20, but
It was worth way more than that.
I have a picture of the maker's stamp on the inside, but I just cannot find anything about it.
No. Anyway, so Memento Mori means remember that you will die, which, thanks, Victorians, that's depressing. So in their death-obsessed culture, they turned to spiritualism for answers and comfort. And the inventors that came to prominence after that were no less curious about the afterlife and communicating with people who had crossed over. Science was lots more open back then than it is now. They were willing to try anything.
Right. They're like into ectoplasm and stuff like that.
That may exist, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to link a documentary. It's on Netflix. What is it called? After Death? Something like Surviving Death. Something like that by Leslie Kean. Great documentary. And they go into mediums and spiritualists quite a bit. Like the fucking crazy wax hands and shit. It's some cool stuff. And I'm not going to get into all of that in this episode because it's not really... It's off topic, but I'll link it so you guys can watch it. Edison was known for being a pretty vocal skeptic about the paranormal, but that would all change when he learned that Tesla might just be building a radio to listen to spirits. At first, Edison publicly denounced these experiments. He fucking hated Tesla so much. He was jealous of him. He was a cooler and a handsomer guy. He had better ideas because he was so creative. And Edison is like the guy who would take apart a vacuum cleaner and then build something else out of it, and it probably won't work. But at least he tried. Gold star.
I mean, I'd compare him to Musk, but I honestly think he was smarter and more clever than Musk.
No,
so.
he was way smarter than Musk and did
I think,
invent
like,
things.
Edison could actually do stuff.
He could, but he was an idea thief.
Right.
And Tesla actually worked for him for a while, but left because he was not getting any of the recognition for any inventions because Edison stole them all.
Right.
Because Edison's a cunt. Yeah. So, but he would make fun of Tesla in like interviews all the time. He's like, "What a crazy
jelly.
loser!"
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you mean girling at him? It's just
He just wants to
really
kiss him.
ridiculous. Yeah, Tesla started making headlines in newspapers all over the world for getting patents on these spooky ideas, and Edison couldn't handle not being the center of attention like the pick-me, elephant-killing bitch that he is.
Pick me, elephant killing bitch.
He killed an elephant.
What an asshole.
Yeah, to test electricity.
Like the Rothschilds would capture zebras and use them for their carriages and stuff. Like, they were dicks.
Y'all, leave him alone.
Right.
God. So he got to work on his own machine to contact the dead. And he did all of this in secret, of course, so he wouldn't look like an idiot. Because he had just come out and was like, Tesla's such a doof, gosh. And then he's like, in secret, like, I'm going to build it first. No, really, he thought he would make so much money. If he could build a device to talk to the dead.
I mean, you would. That's true. Yeah. I mean, it's not wrong there.
He didn't have the cojones to do it in the public eye in case he screwed up, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You talk to Satan instead. Whoops.
Because it would make a fool out of himself and it'd make Tesla look cooler. We can't have that. In 1920, in his private lab, Edison invited some friends and other scientists and some mediums and some psychics, not Tesla.
And some larges.
Not Tesla. Over to witness his latest, greatest invention. An electrical hum filled the air, and he brought out a machine that kind of looked like a bunch of nothing. like, what is this, you crazy old coot? It kind of looked like an old movie projector.
Okay.
This shot out a beam of light into something called a photoelectric cell. Now, what is that? Photoelectric cells are used as switches, like electric eyes, light detectors, burglar alarms, devices to measure light intensity, light meters, and power sources like solar cells. I don't know. Don't ask for further explanation.
That's something we don't have right now. I don't know what that is. I can't even picture it.
I don't have it in my brain, and I don't even have a brain.
Okay.
It's a tumbleweed, and it's just rolling around in there.
That's all we have.
We're tired, y'all. We've had a day. Worthless day. So basically, the light beam would then register any movement or disturbance, seen or unseen, that passed through it.
Okay.
Edison had a meter hooked up to this nonsense that would register the disturbance. It's basically a ghost detector.
I think that we actually do have, I think I've seen it on the ghost shows. Is it where they have like a laser grid?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, something similar is used today on ghost hunting shows.
Okay.
It's a little sensor that has lights on it that go off if there's movement around it. Kind of functions like a burglar alarm, but for ghosts. That's my dog. These changes in the air, the disturbances, are electromagnetic in nature. I don't know, and I'm not a scientist. Moving on. He told his gathering of bros, not Tesla, that he was working on a ghost phone. Who you gonna call? Yeah? Yeah. Edison had also invited mediums, like another spiritualist, like I said, and so he was like, all right, y'all, we're gonna see if my machine works. So we need to do a seance. So all of his science bros are like, dude, come on, what the fuck? And the mediums are like, all right, then.
Does it say who they're going to talk to?
No, he just wanted to stir up activity to see if his machine would work. And so they tried for 2 hours.
I feel like this machine would work better if like you had somebody freshly dead to talk to.
Okay, well, they're not going to murder someone to do that.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. He needed to summon up some ghosts so he could get the device to work. And this was their area of expertise, so that's why he invited all these mediums over. And that all sounds great, but did it work? No. Not even a little bit. He just cobbled together a bunch of crap he had lying around the house and made a nonsense machine that sounded cool. After trying for a couple hours, he gave up and everyone went home. So game over, right? Wrong! Edison, like him or hate him, and I do hate him, had a really great philosophy, which was failure was just an opportunity to learn. And I like to look at failures that way. I try all kinds of things all the time when crafting or making art or writing, and not everything I do is a winner. But everything I do is an opportunity to learn something cool. So while Edison is an idea-thieving, Tesla-taunting elephant murderer, he did see failure in a healthy light. So he kept working on it and was back to the drawing board. He kept working on the ghost phone for the rest of his life, but he died before it was complete.
But who was phone?
In a weird conspiracy twist, there was no mention of this work in his notes or in his estate at all upon his death. And everybody wants to make this a really weird conspiracy. Like the government stepped in and stole all of his research. But you know what I think it was? I think he was embarrassed it didn't work.
Well, like I said, I feel like they were onto something, but if they needed to, like, have a direction for the other side, like, you need to be talking, like, know who you're calling instead of just,
we got
like,
the phone. They ain't got the phone. They don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right, so you can't just be like, well, I'm going to build a ghost phone and be like, hey, ghost, so you're there. Like, you need to call a specific ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A specifical ghost.
Otherwise, no one will pick it up. No one will pick up the phone.
Later, ghost researchers have captured Thomas Edison, though.
Oh, dang, he picked up the phone after all.
Ghost phone ringing.
Right.
I just think he got scared of dying because he was old when he did this. So he was really trying to prove the afterlife to himself because he was so skeptical. He was Houdini level skeptical.
Yeah.
And Houdini, you know, he's a famous magician. He like made it at the end of his life, made it his life's work to debunk mediums, period. Like he was on the warpath.
Yeah.
Like he should have gotten a more fun hobby. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think he was embarrassed by his own research and failure. Because, like, failure's fine if you can bounce back better from it later, but he never finished this. So I just think he had all of his notes and research on it destroyed.
Or the government took it all.
No. And I just think it's a shame because people were more interested in science than they were weird shit. And I think weird shit could be its own science. Like, legit, quit treating it like it's fringe and like people are crazy.
Right.
I'm tired of everyone on Earth getting gaslit for thousands of years just because we believe stuff or we've had an experience. I'm not even saying it was ghosts or aliens or any of that. It may not even have a name because we won't look into it because anyone who tries is ridiculed.
We are a pro-woo podcast.
Oh, I believe everything.
We just, like, if it's a woo crazy answer, that's the one we're going with.
I mean, I'm all about ruling out the mundane first, like a logical person, but leave room for new ideas. Now, some people say there's no evidence of Edison working on a ghost phone at all and that it's all urban legend, but that's BS, and here's why. And this is, like, taken from an associate of his. It's been widely written that Edison and his assistant, Dr. Miller Hutchinson, were seriously at work on building a machine to achieve spirit communication. And Tesla wrote in his journals that Thomas Edison had heard from other engineers that Tesla had been receiving mysterious voices and sounds over radio frequencies that were not conducive for the broadcasting of the human voice, meaning that's not what the signals were. They weren't...
You know, you're saying, like, broadcasts and sounds. Does it say, like, what? Like, what did it...
I'll get to that in a second.
Dang.
Yeah, I'll cover what Tesla actually did and accomplished.
Okay.
Because ghost hunters use it today. Yeah. And like Tesla was annoyed in his journal because he's like, well, he's making fun of me in public, but privately, it's clear Edison believed that Tesla had managed to find the correct frequency that let him talk to ghosts.
Okay, I need to know that dial number. Like, I want to go talk to some ghosts.
And we'll talk about that in a second.
Damn.
Edison had to get this to market first. He needed Tesla wasn't trying to make a spirit phone. That's not what he was doing, but that's what Edison wanted to do, and he was afraid Tesla would beat him to it. And here's a quote from Dr. Miller Hutchinson, and he wrote this in his diary. Edison and I are convinced that in the fields of psychic research will yet be discovered facts that will prove of greater significance to the thinking of the human race than all the inventions we have ever made in the field of electricity.
I like your old-timey man voice.
Yes, I have a mustache when I say it. It's true. Yeah, that seems proof enough to me that he was working on it. He also bragged to the papers before his death that he was coming up with one. It's a shame his research is gone, but again, I think he just didn't want to look bad. Now, while Edison failed spectacularly in getting his ghost phone to work, so much so he likely destroyed all his research on it, Tesla may have made it work.
Dang.
Almost 20 years before Edison had his little seance for his nonsense machine, Tesla had made a radio-type machine that, while not hooked up to any power source, started receiving a signal. And what came through was what sounded like human voices. Now, initially, that just sounds like Tesla was having some delusions. But no!
What'd they say?
Chill the fuck out. We'll get there.
I can't.
I have to explain it first.
No.
Calm down. It was a radio called a crystal radio. And how do those work? A crystal radio receiver, also called a crystal set, is a simple radio receiver popular in the early days of radio. It uses only power of the received radio signal to produce sound, needing no external power. It is named for its most important component, a crystal detector, originally made from a piece of crystalline minerals such as galena. This component is now called a diode. So basically, it can receive a signal but not send one, which is very cool. I had no idea that such a thing even existed. Can you imagine being alive when all this shit was invented? I bet it was bananas.
I like how it's like a Lord of the Rings crystal radio.
Anything with a crystal in it, I'm all about because I'm a basic bitch.
Dang.
I want a crystal radio.
Yeah, I need that Hobbit radio here.
Yeah, so while it wasn't hooked to a source of external power, it was still able to receive a signal. Tesla said the messages were human voices, but in a language he had never heard before.
Oh, now we're never going to know.
No. Tesla postulated that because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, the human soul, if it existed, would likely be made of electromagnetic energy and would thus hang around after death, or at least it was possible. But Tesla thought that he would have to tune to the right frequency to pick up the voices of the dead. If he could just tune to that frequency, then he could hear spirits or disembodied personalities. He never called them ghosts or spirits. He called them disembodied personalities.
Well, I feel that he's right about that.
So he tried this out. He experimented, and what he heard, scared him.
Oh, no.
It's just crazy hell demon voices.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will be linking to people who have built the machine. Because you know what was cool about Tesla? Mm-hmm. He was really good about documenting all his research, because he would work it out mathematically before he would try to build a thing. Mm-hmm. Edison was the opposite way. He would just build shit. Well, he didn't even know, mathematically how it worked.
I know from someone who's bad at Legos that that's not the way to go.
No, not at all. So he also got patents for all this stuff. And patents mean you have to label every part and how it works and how to put it together. So people do it and have done it. And I will link to some of those so you can hear the absolutely wild audio. Does it sound like voices? Kind of. It does something. Sounds weird.
But
is
we don't
it
know
voices?
what they're saying.
I don't know. Well, people who like spirit boxes and other ITC VP stuff say yes, they're ghosts. But this is really up for debate. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm really on the fence about spirit boxes.
It's just demon voices. That's what you're telling me.
Probably.
Nothing cool.
No. So, I have a question. Have any of our tea bags gone ghost hunting? If so, please get in touch with me. It's something I want to do for this podcast really soon. We're almost to the point on Patreon where I can do things like this. I want to invest in some ghost hunting equipment. So if you have any stories of using equipment to go on ghost hunts, please email me, and my email will be in the description of this episode, because I gotta know. Have you talked to ghosts? Have you seen ghosts?
They just say rude stuff like, go kill yourself. And,
yeah, mine was like, die, go away. And I was like, wow, I live here, pay rent.
Fuck off, ghost.
Right? I have the deed to this house, you bitch.
Right.
How dare you? Why can't they say something like, you look good today?
Nice ass.
Wow, I don't want them to say that.
That's way better than kill yourself.
Sure, but now it's pervy.
I'm fine with it, honestly.
I've had a ghost pinch my butt before. I didn't appreciate it.
Oh, no.
Because I can't turn around and lay them out. I can't smack anybody if they're invisible.
Yeah.
Fucking bullshit. So now we come to my... Well, it's not my favorite part. I don't like this part because I don't know how to transition into... It's business time.
Business time.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm for the first time in like a couple weeks, I have openings for tarot readings.
Holy crap.
I did have a bit of a waiting period there, but I'm open and clear again. So if you guys want to hit me up, I've been reading tarot for nearly 30 years. I don't know. I'd like to say I'm pretty accurate. I've done it for you.
Yeah, it's a good gift for a friend or an
for
enemy.
Yourself. Treat yourself. That's what I say.
An enemy.
Don't buy things for your enemies.
Yeah. Oh, no, you should. You should buy a tarot reading for your enemy. That would be a cool gift.
My tarot readings are really positive, Merris.
Oh.
I just gave them to you a little extra hard because you needed it that day, you know? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. The cards are not my fault. I'm just interpreting them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you can also get a star chart painted by Merris. And what is that, Merris?
Well, I like to do old-timey illustrations by hand with watercolor, and I like to draw maps, so I will draw a star map that is a picture of the sky at the time of your birth or any date of your choosing.
Including a wedding anniversary.
Yeah, wedding anniversary.
When you met your sweetie pie.
Yeah, or like the first time you played Diablo 3. I don't care. And
Yeah, we
like,
don't care.
so you just, like, let's say you were born in June, so I will do a snapshot of like Gemini and then the placement of the moon and all the planets, and it's accurate.
And not only is it accurate, but it's just really pretty. It's done in like an old world style. I love mine. And if you want to see examples of this, just message me. I have lots of pictures.
It's on my Instagram.
It's on his Instagram.
Marquee Moth.
That is correct. Yeah. That's in the link tree, by the way. Yeah. So we do that. We have a Patreon as well. There you can get bonus content, like we do kind of after episode discussions. We also have weekly bonus episodes and just a bunch of fun stuff in general. So go check that out. I don't know what Willow's covering this week because I'm forgetful, but I'm doing the kind of a breakdown of the Scott Peterson case, the new claims that his defense and family are making, and they're bullshit. So I'm going to eviscerate them for fun. And then, yeah, we're going to be doing a little documentary series soon. I've been writing them and planning them. I'm excited to get to filming kind of some like cool haunted places around where we live. And I'm no cinematographer, but the scenery's so pretty I don't need to be.
You don't need to be a cinematographer.
A cinematographer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good, Merris.
Yeah.
And other than that, if you have any questions or concerns or comments or whatever, you can email me. My email's in the description of every single podcast I put up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from you.
Yeah.
Also, if you're a small business and you would like to be sponsored by this podcast, get in touch with me. We've sponsored a couple small businesses, and I'll tell you how to do that because we all got to stick together as small businesses.
Yeah, we'll make a little commercial.
We will make a little commercial for you. We'll link to all your socials. I just ask that you please have made this yourself with your own little hands.
Yeah, no stuff from like that order in, you know?
No drop shipping. No, like MLM stuff. You keep your crazy leggings to yourself.
Right.
We're not interested in your pyramid scheme.
We don't wear pants around here.
We do. We're both wearing pants right now. We're not wearing good pants.
No, I'm wearing my ugliest pants I own.
They were my pants.
Yeah.
But they fit weirdly, and I was going to throw them away, and Merris was like, I'll take them, britches.
They're MC Hammer pants, and they have no pockets, and they are tie-dye black and white. They are really hideous.
They're the ugliest pants in the world.
But they're very comfortable.
I disagree, but they fit you better than me, because you have shorter legs.
They are literally MC Hammer pants.
I'm wearing really gross sweatpants, and they're just gross because they're just gray sweatpants, and they're too baggy, they're like too big, and I just look stupid. Fashion, sweaty, look it up.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, if all you can do to support this podcast is listen, thank you so much. Line go up. We've had lots of new listeners, so if you're a new listener, hello.
Yeah.
I'm sorry this episode was so fucking unhinged.
Yeah.
I just, there's like, sometimes I get like this thing where it's hard to pick what to do for Merris Monday because there's so much weird shit I could talk about.
Right.
But I don't want to talk about weird shit that's stupid. Like, some stupid is okay. Mm-hmm. This was stupid. But, like, I don't know, lizard people. There's not any.
I think we should cover lizard people. I'd want to hear about it.
I don't think they're real. I don't. Some things, whether they're real or not, like, I know I say I believe everything on Merris Monday. Some stuff I just don't want to fucking believe in because it's dumb.
I want to hear about Hollow Earth, that one guy who flew a plane into the center of the Earth or whatever.
Well, he's a liar.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
We wouldn't have gravity if it weren't for our iron core. Shit's not hollow. It's full of lava and stuff.
Yeah.
It's full of gummy bears. The Earth is full of gummy bears. You heard it here first.
Oh, my God. The government's holding a secret.
It's full of edibles.
All right, I'm going to start eating dirt.
Don't.
Yeah.
No. I had a friend who ate dirt when I was a kid.
Friend of yours, huh?
Not anymore. Anyway, hey, thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.